just make sure you lot can all hear me, because it's all gone horribly wrong again tonight. The old PC's playing up. I say the old PC, she's flipping new. So yeah, she's not powering up. She's not playing ball tonight. She's had a new motherboard and she still ain't playing. I'm not happy. Let's just make sure that I'm live and rocking. Yes, okay. So we're going to have to rely on a bit of jiggery pokery tonight, I'm afraid, people, because I'm running out of cables and all sorts of stuff. That's plugged into that. All right, okay, let's get out of here. So, round one of the season 17 Next Gen Racing CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Tonight we are live from Dragon Trail Seaside. This is a great big triangle with 3 naughty chicanes in it. One chicane being more naughty than the other 2. So let's just have a quick flick over. Looks like quali has started. Got Ollie O'Neill promoted from Pro-Ams last season. He won that season outright. Smashed the competition pretty much. Yeah, took them out by an awful lot of points. Did Ollie O'Neill, so up to the pros this season. NGR Cutler as well, last season's winner. Got W415 TS77. Not sure who that is. I'll call you W40 for now. Bigsy, must remember him from last season. Potter McPot as well. I think he was second last season. Simon O'Neill, new driver. Pav 46, he did enter a couple of these races last season. I think he was just swamped with all the other stuff he had doing. Conrad Racing, we remember from last season as well, so didn't do too bad either. Carterboy 99, new driver. Scar Wars again from last season, and ADG, new driver this season. I know ADG quite well actually. He drives for MRC. He's pretty quick. Let's see how he gets on in these minis tonight. So let's get ourselves on track. Let's go and turn some waffle on for you people. So yeah, what I could actually do with is grabbing a USB-C. Can I see one? Damn it, not within grabbing distance. No. So I will try and look at your comments, people, but my battery has got 4%. I need to, you know what? I'm going to go and find one. Let's just leave it with Simon O'Neill. Possibly related to Ollie? Who knows? Nobody said he is in the group chats. So obviously no points for you guys tonight. First round of the season. There is a USB-C, damn it, that's what I need. Yeah, back in the chair. So yeah, I might have to do a bit of swapping and swapping between the old pad and the phone. Keep them both charged up. So yeah, Simon O'Neill then, let's have a look at his, saying he's 8th on both of those, that's interesting. Let's go back to him. Nope, still saying he's 8th. So WD40 on a 154.3. NGR Cutler, so a few cars ghosting out, he's on a 154.8. Pav 46, 154.8 as well. 7,000s behind NGR Cutler at the minute. So it's a 15-minute quali, and then we've got 2 races. Let me see if I get that right. I might have got that completely wrong. It might be an enduro tonight. Andre, how you doing? Terminal, how you doing? Hope you're both all right. Like I say, struggling tonight. The PC's blown up again. All sorts of issues going on. Carterboy 99, 2-minute 0.6 on the clock. ADG a 2-minute 7. Scar Wars 242 out lap. Oh, and into the wall on his first fast lap. Like I say, it can be a little bit awkward this track. We'll go on board with one of the drivers in a minute. 218 outlap for Ollie O'Neill at the minute, nothing on the board. Cutler back in the pits, W41 back in the pits, Bigsy in the pits, Conrad Racing in the pits. Okay, so a couple of changing settings. I wonder if we were waiting for a driver and now we're going to start quali. Let's have a look. So we have had some lobby issues as well with PlayStation. Yesterday's streams, was supposed to stream twice yesterday, once at 7:30, once at 9 o'clock. The first stream, the guys couldn't even open the lobby for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, by which point it was far too late to actually get the stream in before the next one. So they've cancelled that till next week. And then the 9 o'clock stream, managed to get in the lobby at literally 9 o'clock, but they were unable to get the actual race underway. As soon as you set off, it was just people stuck on the grid, people disappearing, getting kicked out of the room. Yeah, not sure what's going on with the servers at the minute. So we are starting that 15-minute quali now then. A little bit later than scheduled, possibly down to me. Let's just see, make sure I was probably the last one in the room. Oh no, Ollie O'Neill. So yeah, no snazzy intros or outros for you people tonight, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame, but like I say, got PC issues at the minute. It's not playing games. Right, so 15 minutes of quali then, and then we jump into 2 races or an enduro. I've forgotten to even search for that. I've been too busy looking at other things. What is this first race? Come on. Where is it now? Dragon Trail Seaside. Okay, yeah, so it is 2 races tonight, sprint race and then a feature race, so 15 minutes quali into 15-minute sprint race, and then a reverse grid and into a half an hour feature race. A little bit more technical in race 2. It's always been a good format in the minis. They do make for some good battling. Right, so Potter McPot is going to come around and start his first hot lap. You know what we'll do? We'll go on board with Pav. And we'll follow Potter because these boys are pretty good at keeping up with each other, and it gives you a good view of from behind the car and from on board as well. So down the start, finish straight, then through this little right hand kink, staying hard on the power. I'm not sure where they brake on this track in these minis, just before that curbing. So through the first of the chicanes then, drifting it wide through there, Potter. So now Pav taking the lead, then we'll switch back to Potter as Pav comes through. So through that first chicane, then through this nice kink. Can keep this flat in these minis, no problem, into the first of the almost hairpins. So in other cars, you've got to be careful running it out a little bit wide there, not so much in the minis. So back down the hill through another little right-hand kick into the biggest chicane of the lot. It's massively open. Just got to release the power, let it sort of flow through, power back on it through the second half of it, all the way over the brow of the hill as well, just clipping that inside left-hand apex. Both drivers running out wide, making the most of the track, clipping the inside apex on the way through. Pav not doing that. Potter may be looking for a move on him in this quali session. Hard on the brakes at this second of the hairpins. So we come down to the naughtiest of the chicanes now. It's also known as chicane of death. I've had a few incidents here myself, picked up a couple of monikers for the privilege as well. So easy in, it's quite difficult on the way out. Just a little lift there by Potter. Again, not so difficult in these minis. And they are quite small, not the brake horsepower of some of the bigger cars. hard on the brakes, then into this last almost hairpin. Back onto the start-finish straight. Around the little left-hand kink. And they head down towards the line. Let's see what both of these drivers put in. Potter McPot. Pav just sticks in a 1:54.5 then, fastest lap so far. So he's the man to beat at the minute. Putting in that 1:54.5. Potter was a 1:54.7, so not that far back. Oh, Conrad Racing, sorry, that's Potter McPot was 1:55.7. Oh yeah, so Conrad Racing goes quicker, 1:54.7. That puts him into second on the grid. Scarwall's third, 1:55.6. Potter McPot now pushed down to fifth. Cutler jumped up to third, 1:54.9. ADG 6 on the money at 1:56.0. O'Neill 7th, 1:58.4. Carter Boys on 2:02.0 at the minute. Simon O'Neill just crossing the line though, puts himself up into fourth with a 1:55.3. Let's go down to WD40, 1:56.1 for WD. Let's get the stream back up so I can see what you lot are yapping about. Duco, evening, Cliche, how you doing? Unfortunately, our PC's blown up again. So no snazzy graphics, no snazzy scores or anything like that. Not that you're getting scores this week because it's first round of the season. So yes, WD40, 1:56.1. Just running a little bit wide through there. Ollie O'Neill then pushed down into 10th on that 1:58.4. Carter Boy now at the back, 2:02.0. So Pav keeps that P1 on the grid at the minute. 5 minutes into this quali. Potter McPot trying to do everything he can to gain a bit of an advantage. Let's see what Potter puts in. Where is he? Down in 7th at the minute. Not anymore. He's put himself into first by almost 3/4 of a second. 1:53.4 then by Potter McPot. So Pav will be thinking, radio, my turn. Let me get in a slipstream of Potter McPot and see what I can do. 3/4 of a second is a fair old chunk to pick up. So he pushes everyone down a spot. Conrad into third, then Cutler into fourth. Just stick with Cutler as he comes across the line. He keeps it in fourth. It's not a fast lap, 2:01.9 for that lap 3. Scarwall's up into fifth then, 1:55.0. Just over half a second quicker. Big Z just pushed down again. So who's that? Simon O'Neill gone quicker, 1:54.5, puts himself in third then. Just have a little Fizzy Brown pop. So Conrad pushed down into fourth then, Big Z fifth. Cutler now sixth. WD40 in 7th. Scarwall's 8th. Ollie O'Neill 9th. Oh, running a little bit wide there, Ollie. Staying out of the way of the driver. ADG in 10th. 56.0. No livery for AD, unfortunately. Hopefully one of the lads will assign him on or make him on and chuck that over. So like I say, I'm going to try and keep up with the chat, people, but I've not got it right in front of me now with the PC blown up. It's just down on my phone next to me, so I might not be paying it that much attention. I'll try and put it up there somewhere a bit more noticeable. Like I say, the battery's probably going to die anyway. We have a little swap over. Potter McPot then still holding that P1 position. 46 seconds, so I managed to beat that lap 3 yet then with that 1:54.1. That last lap, lap 4 being a 1:54.9. Simon O'Neill then third, Conrad fourth. Oh no, Conrad down a spot then. Why won't you flick to WD40? Where have you gone? Here he is. He's just put in a 154.4. That puts him in fourth position. Good effort from the new driver tonight. Pushes Conrad down, Bigsy down, Scar Wars, Cutler now down in 8th position. Leon 9th, AKG still in 10th, Carter Boy still at the back. He's gone a little bit quicker, 159.4. So let me see if I can do that. Does that work? Almost. Let me shove that down there a bit, people. There we go. Right. Now I can see all your comments. I can see all your comments. Sean, evening. How you doing? See? I don't know what we're looking at there. Someone's entered the pits. Carter Boy. There you go. You see? That's what happens when I look at the chat. I end up looking at blank walls. I still could do with just a little something underneath that. There we go. Blammo. We're in. Bottom of pot doing a bit of off-roading. Still in P1 though. Nobody's managed to close that gap on him. Pav's still closest at the minute, sitting himself P2 on the grid. Simon O'Neill still third. WD40 still fourth. Bigsy just in the pits then. So just 10 minutes into this quali, still got a good 4.5 to go. Well, no, maybe 4 now. So yeah, nice little track this when you can get it right. Just that chicane of death, as I say, is quite a naughty little corner. If you get it wrong, it can stop you dead in your tracks. You may see one or two of these drivers try and go too wide through there. We'll see. So there are two lobbies. We've got the pros and the pro-ams. The pro-ams are being streamed by Hunty the Punty. I'm not sure if that's still his YouTube channel. It will be a link. There will be a link in description once I figure out what his new YouTube is. If he's changed his name, I'm not too sure. All on board, please. All right. Bam. Let's go. Hold on. Let's go for some proper on board. Cutler just losing his penalty. Through the chicane of death then. Let's stick with Cutler through the chicane of death. See how he gets on with that. Like I say, not too difficult in these minis. They're not that big. Not that powerful. 220 brake. So releasing the throttle through there. You just got to be careful. Those two little corners. If you catch those, like I say, it's stopping you dead in your tracks. Duco, man. Don't upset Potter. Let's go and find Potter McPot. See if he's still being hounded by. They're still chasing each other down, Potter McPot and Pav. Still not managed to close that gap yet, Pav. Minutes left of quali. Give them just about a lap depending where they are on track. Into the chicane of death. They both make it through cleanly. Yeah, just got to be a little bit careful on the exit as well. Put too much power in or don't quite get the turn out right. You're dragging yourself on the wall on the exit, slowing you down. Potter McPot drifting that mini then, trying to get on the back end of Pav. Possibly the last chance to stick a lap in. There's the timer, 13:30. Okay, so they've got a minute and a half. They should get round. No, Potter goes quicker, 153.2. Pav unfortunately unable to go quicker. 154.1 still for him. So Potter almost a second quicker than anyone else on track at the minute. Simon O'Neill still holding that third. WD40 still in fourth. Conrad fifth. Bigsy still sixth. Scarwall's now sitting the end of quali out. NGR Cutler in 8th, Ollie O'Neill 9th, ADG 10th, and Carter Boy still at the back of the pack, a little way off the pace, but he's new to this league. And possibly not, possibly new to the game. Don't recognise his name from any of the other leagues or groups. So 10 seconds left on the quali clock. So let's go ahead and have a look who's coming across the line then. So we have got a driver in front of WD40, but it'll probably take me longer to find him. Possibly got across the line just before the timer ran out actually. Where's our man Cutler? He should be somewhere on track, ghosting out any second now, possibly trying to finish his lap off. Possibly when Cutler finishes his lap, the race will begin. So it should only be a 15-minute quali, but it does overrun a little bit. I don't seem to be having any lobby issues tonight anyway. Most people seem clean, no glitching. Like I say, Bigsy parked up against the pit wall. Like I say, yesterday the lobbies were all over the place. Yeah, some people couldn't even open lobbies. Once they were open, people couldn't get in. It was yeah, it was a bit bonkers. Chris, evening. How you doing? So Cutler puts in a 154. That's his quickest lap of the quali so far. Nice little handbrake from him too. Sticks himself in 6th position and no doubt ghosting because he's just about to start the race, I would probably expect. Maybe a little bit of a warning for 1 or 2. So Potter McPot then holding that P1 position on the grid. Pav in 2nd. Simon O'Neill still 3rd. Ollie O'Neill up into 4th then. 154.3 at the end of that quali. Pushes WD40 down a spot. NGR Cutler 6th. Bigsy, Conrad 7th. Bigsy 8th. Scarwall's 9th. ADG 10th. And Carter Boy in 11th. So race 1 of season 17. Let's see how we get on. A few of the old boys from last season in. Let's see how they fare against the new blood. Nice grid order for you people. Already read out. Not going to do it again. So keep your eye on the lights. Coming on. Revs are coming up. Let's see if everyone gets away cleanly. First turns, bit of a naughty chicane. Nice great wheel spin from WD40. Bigsy gets a great start. He's managed to get past Cutler already. So Potter McPot still leads. Simon O'Neill up in 2nd though, got past Pav. Ollie O'Neill's got past Pav as well. And the inside line into T1. So we have got Ollie O'Neill, Simon O'Neill going side by side through there. All the drivers getting through that first chicane cleanly. Potter McPot still leading then, goes a little bit defensive. Big gaggle of minis ganging up behind him. So through that little kink right then up to the first of the hairpins, hard on the brakes. Nice big drift through there from Pav 46 to take back that 2nd place. That was a good move from Pav 46 there. Ollie O'Neill and Simon O'Neill pushed down a spot then through that audacious move by Pav. Bumper to bumper action so far. Potter though, he's managed to get a bit of a gap. He's already a 2nd out front from these drivers. Ollie O'Neill, Simon O'Neill 3rd and 4th side by side as they head up and over the hill. Conrad racing up into 5th, then WD40 in 6th now. So from 4th to 6th, lost a couple of positions. Cutler lost a position as well, he's down in 7th. He's managed to get back past Bigsy though. We've got Scar Wars and ADG right there with him as they head down towards Chicane of Death. We'll stick with these guys as they head through there. So he's too wide as they head through Chicane of Death. Oh, chaos on the way out. Who's been clobbered there? Who's been clobbered there? Pot's got through, Pav's got through, Conrad's through, WD40's through, Bigsy's through. Oh, looks like it was Cutler caught up in that somewhere. ADG's got through in 6th. Ollie O'Neill got clattered. Simon got clattered. Yeah, Cutler got clattered. So that puts Cutler all the way down to 10th. Carter Boy then back in the fight in 11th. So back up to the front. See, that Chicane of Death. It's a little bit naughty. Let's go on board with Pavington Bear. So through the first chicanes then as he tries to hunt down Pot for that first place position. Only a half a second gap between these two now. Conrad racing now 1.6 second back from Pav 46. You can just see him there in Pav's rear view mirror. So through the first chicane. Gaining more time over Conrad. Putting in purple sectors as well. It does seem to happen on lap 2 for all drivers. So Conrad in 3rd. Just flick through, see what's going on behind. Still a big gaggle of minis. WD40 up into 4th. ADG pushes his way up into 5th. WD just getting himself off track. We've got a Bigsy behind, just running a little bit tight through that first chicane. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. Ollie O'Neill, sorry. WD40 picking up a penalty for that off-track action. Oh, ADG just getting a little nudge up the bum there. That's just pushed him up the track a little bit. He still kept that 4th position, but now he's coming under all sorts of pressure as they head back down towards this Chicane of Death. So through the infield section, that's the outs. Oh my gosh, there we go. You see Ollie O'Neill just clipping the wall on the inside there. That's just shoved him right across the track and pinballed him. Now down in 10th, about to get overtaken by Carter Boy as well. Didn't sound like one of the driver got clattered there as well, maybe on the exit. Bigsy maybe. Can be a little bit awkward. Conrad getting some shouts on the chat there. Come on Conrad, where is he? In 3rd. Not that far back, 2.4 now. He has lost a bit more time, but plenty of gap behind him to ADG. ADG's not done bad though, qualified in 10th. He's in 4th at the minute. A bit of pressure from Scar Wars. He's new to the minis, he's ADG, so he's got to get used to the handling a little bit. They do seem to lose the back end quite easily, these minis. The AD's just not quite ready for that when they do let go. Competent driver though, he'll pick it up pretty quick. He's still doing alright though, like I say, qualified 10th up into 5th. WD pressing him down the hill though as they head down towards this second chicane. This is where we did see WD running massively deep, straight across that red tarmac there. Picked up a penalty for his trouble. He's still holding a little bit of that as he comes up and over the hill. Pressured by Simon O'Neill, has managed to get back a little bit further up the pack into 7th. So he got clattered into Chicane of Death. ADG then going defensive to try and fend off an attack from WD. Simon O'Neill trying to run it around the outside. ADG though getting good traction on the way out. Simon's got a better run though. ADG unfortunately loses another place, then pushed down into 6th. WD still pressing him, 7th place. Oh, but WD's just done exactly the same thing, just clipped that inside wall, and that's the damage it can do. So holding a little bit of front end damage. It's going to slow him down a little bit. Got Ollie O'Neill and Carter Boy closing in on him then. Breaking away from the drivers in front. Pav then, a quarter of a second between these two. Is Pav looking to make a move into the first turn, possibly a little bit too far back. Pot just showing him that he's where he's there. Like I I say, these two drivers do drive a lot together, so they know how they're going to perform and what they're going to, where they're going to, well, not where they're going to brake, but how they're going to drive and how they're going to react to certain things. Gaining more time over third place Conrad. He's having a little race all on his own at the minute in race 1. He's got 3.8 seconds gap to Star Wars in 4th. We'll see how that gap holds out. So up to 4 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that. So 5th place Big Z now, almost 2 seconds back. He's got 3 cars putting him under some pressure through this second chicane. Big Z followed by ADG, followed by Simon O'Neill, followed by NGR Cutler. So I think AD's just got it a little bit wrong through that exit of the chicane, lost a bit of time. Simon O'Neill's all over him. NGR Cutler's looking to have a nibble as well into this second hairpin. ADG losing that position to Simon, then pushing down into 7th. Cutler's looking down the inside into the chicane of death. Again, could be naughty. Still side by side. Oh, very lucky Cutler, having to take all sorts of different lines and angles to avoid hitting the wall and to avoid hitting ADG. Very good driving there from NGR Cutler. But looks like Conrad's taken a beating through the chicane of death. He's now down in 8th position. Front end damage, drivetrain damage. Should repair itself, but that's caused him all sorts of issues. Drivetrain now fixed and aero fixed, so back up to race pace. But from 3rd to 8th for Conrad. He won't be happy with that. He's looking for good results. It was looking good for him as well. So unfortunately, Tommy, your man's a little bit of an incident. But Potter McPot then still leading. Potter McPot at Pav right there with him. Nothing in between these two drivers. Even in quali they were pretty much bolted together. Star Wars then up into 3rd, but he's now 9.6 seconds back from drivers in front. Simon O'Neill then up into 4th, 2.5 seconds between himself and Star Wars. He's still got Big Z and ADG though for company. Getting it a little bit squiffy through that first bit of the chicane. That's allowed Big Z through. ADG's going for a cutback on him. Not quite able to get side by side. Oh yes, he is now. Simon will have the inside line into this turn though. So ADG getting a good run out. Let's go for a bit of this as we head into the chicane of death then. So we're on board with Cutler chasing, being chased by Simon O'Neill, who's being chased by ADG. So through that chicane, you can see it's pretty tight at speed. So a little bit of a slipstream up here for AD. Simon's gone defensive. ADG's done the dummy on him, dived down the inside. He's dived down the inside of Cutler as well. A little bit of bashing and a banging, but managed to make that place stick. And there's Big Z and Cutler then side by side as they head down the start-finish straight. Got a good toe off ADG. ADG again will have the inside line into turn 1. So they're going to be almost 3 wide as they come down here. Got to change camera. Blam! Who's going to have the metal to hold out? 3 drivers putting it in there, but Big Z coming out the loser in that one. Simon O'Neill sneaking through. ADG then having to now fend off Simon O'Neill. Simon will now have the inside line into the next turn. Big Z's going to sneak through as well, but Cutler's in 4th. So into this hairpin then. It's a little bit wide, Cutler. So back into the train then. Just come back to this in a second. Let's see what's going on at the front. Potter McPot and Pav still bolted together. Pav holding fastest lap of the race. So 153.5 for Pav. Potter McPot's got a 153.6. Not that far off between these two. But then yeah, over 10 seconds back to 3rd place Star Wars. And then we've got Cutler, Simon O'Neill, Big Z and ADG all fighting it out for 4th place at the minute. Cutler just sneaking off a little bit. He's got about 3/4 of a second, just over. Just stretching it out. Three of the drivers behind getting it clean through the chicane. ADG then looking to make a move on Ollie O'Neill into the last turn again. Just saw him outbrake 2 drivers on the lap before. So he gets past Simon O'Neill. Does Simon O'Neill get a better drive out? He does. So ADG's losing all his speed, coming in there a little bit too tight. So Simon takes that 5th place back. He should have enough momentum to get in front of ADG. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe just ADG decided not to fight that one. Could have ruined both their races. He's not doing bad, Duco. He's not doing bad. Tommy, man, come on. Leave him alone. Chicane of death can get anyone. So Biggsy 7th, Conrad 8th. He is back in this fight though. From getting it all wrong in the chicane of death. He's right on the rear bumper of Biggsy as they head down towards this second chicane. Ollie O'Neill 9th. He's only 1.1 seconds back. And WD is 3.2 seconds back. Carter Boy, unfortunately 14 seconds back. So just struggling in his first season in the minis. Pav now in the lead, taking that P1 position off Potter McPot. So 13 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes remaining. They will get one more lap in. As Pav made the move at the right time. Gone for the lead now, although Potter McPot should get a good tow down the start-finish straight, although Potter McPot's already looking to make a move down the inside. So Potter going for the sneak move then, taking that P1 position, but will Pav... Looks like they're going to run side by side for the length of this. See what happens. So we've got a minute and a half left on the clock. These are about 2-minute laps, so let's see who's got the metal through here. Pav takes the lead through there. Potter McPot then still bolted right on him. Who's going to win out into this first hairpin? Is Pav going to fight it if Potter makes a move? Potter's got a tighter line through there. Pav's not going to fight him too much, but goes for the cutback on the inside. Side by side again. It's going to be a great last lap between these two. Pav then back into the lead. Both of these minis drifting through this turn. Slightly different lines. Not to anyone's advantage yet. Will Potter McPot make a lunge down into the second hairpin? Pav go defensive and say nope. Looks like he might let Potter have it. He's not. It's a good line through there from Pav. I thought Potter McPot was just going to sneak down the inside, but Pav still holds this lead. He's got the chicane of death and the last hairpin to go. We just did see Potter make a move in the hairpin last lap, so possibly going to look for that same manoeuvre again, unless Pav's aware of it. So yeah, Pav's going defensive already. Does he chuck himself back over to the racing line? Potter McPot is going for a move down the inside. They are going to be side by side as they come down the start finish straight. Who's going to get the better drive? Potter McPot's got the better drive. He's up into P1. He is losing time though. Pav's coming back at him. It's going to be neck and neck as across the line. Oh, Potter just takes it by 0.008 of a second. Literally side by side. They probably could have shaken hands out the window. So Pav in second. Great racing, boys. Great racing. Scar Wars in third. NGR Cutler comes home fourth. Simon O'Neill. Oh, what's going on here? Why have they disappeared? Where you gone? Simon O'Neill comes home fifth. ADG sixth. Ollie O'Neill seventh. Biggsy in eighth. WD-40 in ninth. Conrad 10th. And Carter just coming around the last turn to take the final place. He gained a bit of time. 12.5 at the end of that. He did have about 15 seconds. That was some good racing between those two boys, wasn't it, Dukes? Got me a little bit excited. Right, so we will have a few minutes break. Pole position and clean race for Potomac Pot. That's, like I say, that's what the kind of thing we want in the league races. We don't want people smashing into each other. And as you can see there was a little bit of bumping and a barging. But it is to be expected in racing. Most of the damage came from the chicane of death, which luckily, by the look of it, seemed to be a case of not taking anyone else out, just the driver involved, luckily. So we've lost Carter Boy. Whether he decides to come back or not, I don't know. If he's struggling a little bit in this, it might be worth looking at seeing if he wants to, if there's space, go in the Pro-Am lobby. So yeah, that's being streamed live, I believe, on Twitch from Hunty the Punty's point of view, if that's even his real name, on Twitch. And then he's going to do a post-race commentary on YouTube in a couple of days' time. So stick around for that. So yeah, Cutler just popping up saying we've got 5 minutes break. Gives me time to have a brown fizzy pop. Other coloured fizzy pops are available. Wow, yep, that about says it there, Mark, right? More of the same to come. So we've got, like I say, 5 minute break, and then we jump into reverse grid race. Oh my god, where have I put that now? So reverse grid race of these results, and we're into a half an hour race for race 2. Tyre wear and fuel depletion is on as well, so a little bit more strategic for race 2. There we go, tyre wear times 10. Fuel depletion times 5. They do only start with 70 litres as well, so not a full tank either. Some chat going on the mini group. What's going on here? What have I missed? Okay. Ooh, live subscriber. Cheers, Mark. Right. Thank you very much. Getting shouts out. I think you're the first live subscriber ever to be shouted out. Who's ever subscribed live and been shouted out? How about that? It's told me twice on my phone, look. That's how important you are, Mark, right? Right, let's close that, otherwise I can't see what you lot are yapping on about. Any spaces left in this championship? I've raced Next Gen Championship a few years ago. Bets on death chicane. Well, a couple of deaths have already occurred tonight, Terminal. So, Mark, are you still on Next Gen? Are you still part of Next Gen? If you are, just speak to Chris Cutler, see what's going on. Yeah, Cutler saying some great midfield battles. There was a big gaggle of 4 or 5 cars. ADG, where have you gone? Better be coming back. Yeah, some good battles in that one. Potter and Pav, bumper to bumper, pretty much the whole race. Midfield pack battling it out pretty much the whole race. See how race 2 unfolds. The faster guys from race 1 have now got to fight their way through the pack. Like I say, fuel and tyre wear are on, so I'll just let you lot know I am back tomorrow night at the same time, hopefully with PC and snazzy intros, hopefully, or I might put a hammer through the computer, for the Next Gen Racing Mini Challenge UK series. So that's real world Mini Challenge UK drivers. They decided to start their own little league, so it's 2 races of 15 minutes in the minis, and oh, what's going on? Oh dear. Okay. So, looks like we've got, all of a sudden, lobby issues, because we've all been kicked out of the room. Cutler can't be saying, great racing, loved it, and then rage quit. That's definitely not going to happen. So, we'll have to hang about a little bit while Cutler tries to reopen the room. I'm sure the chat's going to go a bit mental now. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, Conrad, I remember. No problem, Terminal. Yeah, I remember Conrad saying he'd got wheel issues. I think he was back on pad, I believe. All sorts of issues going on tonight. What on earth is happening? PlayStation's blowing up. My PC's blowing up. The lobby's disappearing. We've done it, haven't we? Hey, we've broken Japan that much with PlayStation lobbies and Gran Turismo lobbies that we have released Godzilla. He's kicking off right now at Sony HQ. Or Cutler's house. One of the two. Kicking the crap out of the servers. Or Cutler's router. That's a good point, actually. I can't even see Lobby 2. Boomsy Bob was hosting that. So Lobby 2's disappeared as well. Strange things are happening. Right, okay, so Cutler just restarting his PlayStation. That's how bad it gets. It might not be anything to do with Cutler, it might just be PlayStation Network. So, yeah, Cutler's internet's playing up by the look of it. Or something. In fact, let me just see if... let's see if PlayStation networks have exploded. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be lobby issues tonight. Let's see if I can even enter one of these lobbies. Yep. So I'm not having network issues. It's letting me in the lobbies. Well, at the minute, at least. Maybe I'm not then. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's go and see what's going on in this race for a little bit. Nice Chand, MRC driver. Wilson, I think was he MRC or next gen? Random Jake, Zinga, Vexed Man, Sleepless Nights. Having a nice little rag around here at the minute. Let's lead to it. So yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so all sorts have died then. Oh, my Wi-Fi is still running, I can see that. I think my Wi-Fi is still running. Let's see if you lot reply to this. Plum. Yeah, I'll still be running because I'm still in the lobbies and doing whatever. So, might just be the one race for you lot tonight. I'm not hearing complaints from the boy or the missus, so they're not having issues with the internet. How bizarre. Let's just go see if they're going to try again. Okay, so Boonsy Bob, yeah, he got kicked. He was host of the Pro-Am lobby. Every time he goes in to open a lobby, GT just says, nope, network connection gone. Ooh. How bizarre. Yeah, still nothing on the minis. How's ADG in the lobby? AD, you need to... Oh my god. How are you in the lobby? Showrooms with friends. He should be in here then. Right. How is ADG in a lobby that we've just been kicked out of? He was the first man out. Hmm. Okay, so there's a few other leagues reporting problems as well. Hmm. It's not looking great, folks. I can, but I don't know. I don't know all the lobby settings, and then it might not make any difference if other people can't even sign into PSN Network. Then they're not even going to be able to see the lobby, even if I did Dukes, which is a bit of a mare. Like I say, I had this last night. The lads for the BMW stream at 7:30 had been trying to open a room from about 6:30. I think they got one open about 8, maybe just past. But even then, I think they had trouble. And then the 9 o'clock stream was exactly the same. Potter McPot's back online, so he's been having issues as well. Mine's still saying network fine, no problem. Still streaming, no problem. So yeah, give it a few more minutes, peeps. We'll try and get this up and running again for the feature race. Because that first race was great. Want more of that. Now, unfortunately, oh dear, it's the COVID-19 race. Let's see, has he managed to? No. So I think Cutler needs to chuck another hamster on the internet wheel or something. Oh dear. Although I have just seen a map of PlayStation Network outages. And yeah, it's pretty much the whole country. So I'm surprised I'm still on, to be honest. I keep doing this just to let it try and refresh itself. Come out and go back in. Yeah, just let me in, no problem. Still no minis though, still no Boonsy, still no Cutler. So we're just waiting for a router to reboot if this doesn't work. People offering to host, but only if they're given the win. So I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, apologies, people. This is completely out of our hands. This is what happens in Gran Turismo lobbies. Yep, it's perfect, isn't it, Anthony? So Mr. Hunt there who's just popped up. He was streaming his perspective of the Pro-Am lobby for the minis, and then he was going to do post-race on YouTube. So he was streaming on Twitch. I will put link in description because I'm sure the race will probably still be there. Does it work like YouTube? Does it save the race like YouTube does, mate? If you stream it live, you'll have to let me know. I go and watch it from his perspective, and then in a couple of days' time, I'll put a link into Hunty's YouTube channel where he'll do post-race commentary. Maybe only of one race. And unfortunately, because we all got kicked from the lobby, I doubt whether anyone got the chance to save that race one. They might have done. Four G's out as well, Mark. Right, that's how the hell did you talk to me? Your broadband died. Alright. And your 4G went out on your phone. What else did you have to YouTube me on? Interesting. So just trying to keep up with his group chats as well. Okay, so WD-40 is, I think, Weiss Kuba, possibly. Although he might be in Pro-Am for all I know. Come on, Cutler. Give those hamsters some brown fizzy pop. It's full of sugary goodness. Still no mini lobby. Okay, so the game is just launching. Tension, people, the tension. Might have all sodded off by now. I'm trying to I'm flicking between you lot and the chat groups, try and keep up with what's going on. Ah, okay. I was going to say, how on earth did you do that? Come on, Cutler. Still 7 of you watching me just randomly flick through lobby screens. Interesting. Still no minis. Hold on, there's another message, peeps. Not the message we wanted. Oh, damn it. You could make a channel just for this, couldn't you? Just for like anxious waiting. I don't know yet, Dukes. I don't know, mate. We're still waiting for internet to try and fire back up and things like that. I know Cutler's trying to restart his lobby and game and internet and all sorts, but I'm not seeing a lobby of his at the minute. Just refreshing as much as I can. No, not yet. Put the Berg lobby on. Which Berg lobby? Oh, MRC Season 12 Pro Am 3. I don't know why it's Berg. That was last week. Just raced that Friday. And we'd get carried away. We'd watch 8 minutes of a lap of Nürburgring. And we'll be halfway through a flipping second race of the minis. Okay, so Cutler is trying to tell me the lobby's up. There it is. Oh, 1 bar. Oh, so we might be back. We might be back for race 2. Let's just see. I'm not promising anything yet because we might only get like 2 drivers who are able to enter. It's actually letting me in. That there is one of the cars I was driving Friday night. Got me a 3rd place. Got me a fastest lap as well. So, who have we got in here then? A lot of people we shouldn't have. Cutler, me, Bigsy, O'Neill, Boonsy. Yeah, Boonsy was trying to get the Pro-Am lobby running. Scar Wars Simon has Melvin. So I think this is the new guy. What's his name now? Weiss Kuba. I would say that's him with WAIS or W41S. So he's not WD40 anymore, he's going to be Weiss. Okay. So Graham Reeds, I know he's Pro-Am. Thunderrat Pro-Am and Anthony Hunt Pro-Am. So it's a half grid at the minute. Fortunately, Random Jake, I can't do that. So this race might not actually be part of the point system. Nobody's telling me. Let's have a look. Yeah, so a couple of guys saying they're too tired, they've been up too long, waiting too long, jacking it in. Who've we got? Simon Cutler, Bigsy Ollie, Boonsy, Scar Wars, Has Melvin, Weiss, Thundercat, Graham Reeds, and Anthony Hunt, or Hunty the Punty. Oh, he's changed to Anthony Hunt 20, I don't know. Looking to be a little bit more professional. So, was that bottom of the pot? Yes, it was. See, it reflects bottom of the pot. What's going on with this game? There he is. No, Random Jake, stop it. No Duco, not putting that Berg lobby on. Stop going in the pits, you people. Right, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to tell Random Jake to leave me alone. Him taken care of. So no qualifying for race 2. I'm not sure how he's going to set the grid up. Possibly with the pros set in reverse grid order at the front, and then the pro-am set in reverse grid order at the back. Depends if he knows the reverse grid order for the pro-ams though. So yeah, no qualifying. It will just be straight into no Pav either. Possibly Pav can't get into the room then. Needs to make a decision pretty quick. Let's get this race underway. So I think I'm just trying to get Pav back in the room if he's able to. Lost a few drivers. Right, come on then. He's coming back. Oh no, I don't know. That's a question, not a statement. So yeah, different strategies if they do get underway in race 2. Tyre wear times, I don't know how they'll set it now because they've got the pro-am boys in here as well. Might be tyre wear set at times 10, fuel at times 8, or it might be fuel at times 5, not sure. So we've been given the 2-minute warning. Not in the room then, we're going to start this race. It's a shame PlayStation, you really do screw it up for us lot. We try and make it as good as possible for you lot watching. Yeah, and you can see what happens. Pearson is Boomila74. You lost a live viewer, but gained a race. Oh, you're going to join this lobby, are you? Okay. Just waiting for you to get in then. Like I say, with this one not being probably part of the championship, I'll have to rerun race 2 at another point. Still click like on your vids. Thank you very much. Cheers, Mark. Appreciated that. Not then, because I can't see you in this lobby. And there we go, race started. Oh, I see, probably for next week, maybe not this race. I see what you're saying, Mark. I'll shut up now. That's about what you're going to say now, isn't it? Not this race, idiot. There you go. Alright, we'll make mistakes. Right, race 2, 30 minutes, reverse grid. Not quite sure how the grid's set up. Is it fastest first? No, because Thunder Rat's at the back and Weiss at the front. Potter McPot, I think, somewhere in the middle. Yeah, 7th. So they're off. A good start there, but massive great cloud of wheels, smoke from Potter McPot and NGR Cutler. So Weiss leads us down through that first turn, then heading towards the first of the chicanes. Get the gubbins back up for you lot. I need a little bit of a lead at the minute. Into the chicane. All the drivers clean through there at the minute. Not a great start. Some of the drivers been dropped back a little bit. Who's that? Boonsy Bob Right, okay, so these boys will be running in the Pro-Am class setup car, so these have actually got 150 brake. That's why they're running a little bit slower around the track than the guys in front. I did forget about that little feature. So back up the front then, Weiss. 1.1 second lead. Who's that? That's Star Wars running wide. Long way. 1.2 seconds behind is NGR Bigsy then. Pressed by Ollie O'Neill as he heads up and over the hill. Simon O'Neill only half a second back. Pav, you've joined the room far too late. Simon O'Neill, yeah, just half a second back. NGR Cutler then at the back of that little fight. Oh, contact between Potter, Cutler and Star Wars through the second chicane, second hairpin. Potter being the loser of that in 7th, but half an hour race, plenty of time to go. A little bit of front end damage, so yes, tyre wear and fuel is on in this one. So Pro-Am boys, Thunderat leading currently, being hounded by Graham Reeds, Boonsy Bob in 10th, on 3rd in the Pro-Ams, Anthony Hunt 11th and Has Melvin in 12th. So still close racing between the Pro-Am boys. Hunty looking down the inside of Boonsy there, not quite able to get that move done. So let's just go back to the front of this race. Why still leading? Ollie O'Neill 2nd, Simon O'Neill 3rd. They managed to make a good gap from 4th place Bigsy, 2.7 seconds the gap there. Cutler and Star Wars bumper to bumper as they head through that first chicane. Star Wars running a little bit wide though into the sand. He's kept it on track, slowed it down a little bit. That's going to allow Potter to close up on him. He's got a bit of work to do after that contact into the second hairpin. Closing up on Star Wars though, second back. So you can see a big gap developing back to the Pro-Am boys now. Thunderat still holding that front position for the Pro-Ams. Graham Reeds in 2nd. Let's have a little bit of, I'll put the keyboard down, come back here you. Let's have a little bit of onboard. So onboard with Graham Reeds as he tries to chase down Thunderat. He's got Boonsy Bob for company right behind him. Bit of a gap extended from himself to Anthony Hunt. And Has Melvin just off the back of Anthony Hunt as well as they head down the hill then towards this second hairpin. This is where we saw the damage and the chaos occur between Potter, Star Wars and Cutler. Cleanly through there for the Pro-Am boys at the minute though. And all three of them behind in good position as well. Into the chicane of death end should be nice and easy for these Pro-Am boys. Slightly slower car, easier to get through there at a slightly slower pace. So Graham Reed's trying to use that slipstream to close in on Thunderat, unable to do it at the minute. Let's see how he gets this last turn. He's closed in a little bit. Don't run it too wide. There you go. So he's on the back end of Thunderat now. He should get a good tow down this start finish straight. Let's change that camera up a little bit. Might not get close enough to make a move before the start finish straight. We'll see, he's closing in pretty quick. To do it into the first chicane, so let me just jump to the front of the pros. We've got Simon O'Neill now taking the lead of this race with Ollie O'Neill 2nd, Weiss in 3rd, bumper to bumper from the top 3 as they head down into this second chicane then. Getting through there cleanly. Some of the liveries, I'm not sure who's done the liveries this season, might have been Bob Bristow. I don't want to give him too many shouts because it might not have been him at all. All the liveries looking pretty good this season. Weiss looking to make a bit of a move down the inside of Ollie O'Neill, just backing out of that one. So Bigsy losing a bit more time to these guys now, 4 seconds back. Potter McPot, he's managed to get past Star Wars and Cutler up into 5th. Not sure what's happened there between Star Wars and Cutler, but that's just allowed Potter to sneak through, take that 5th position. He's about a second back from Star Wars, so possibly Cutler getting it all wrong. just collecting Scar Wars, possibly last lap in here. Drivers go, oh, Cutler getting it wrong on the exit there, just clipped the wall. Looked like he got there through there cleanly, but I think the rear quarter of that car just clipped the back end of the wall. You can see it just firing across the track. So Pro-Am boys then, Thunder Rat still holding that top spot. Graham Reed's now coming under pressure from Boonsey. Lost a bit of time to Thunder Rat in front as well, coming under that pressure from Boonsey for that second place in Pro-Ams. Boonsey right on the back of Graham Reed's then as they head down the start-finish straight. Graham Reed's was hoping to get this sort of toe down the start-finish straight on Thunder Rat in front, but unfortunately lost a bit of time, now coming under that pressure. Anthony Hunt now 3.8 seconds back. So not a lot to worry about from Anthony Hunt at the minute. He's got he's fighting it out with Melvin. Melvin drifting that Mini through there, trying to do as much damage to those rear tyres as possible. He's kept that place from Anthony Hunt though, got past him. So back up to the front. Weiss has got back into second past Ollie O'Neill. Bigsy lost more time, coming under some serious pressure from Potter McPot now. He's got on board with Potter as he looks to try and get past Bigsy. Just coming up towards this chicane of death section. Hard on the brakes into this hairpin. Potter getting a good run through there, right on Bigsy's rear end as they head out of that hairpin. Pro-Am's Dukes, they've struggled to open lobbies, so they've just jammed it all together, and it's not going to be part of the championship. So that's why we've got two sort of packs. We've got these boys racing around in the 220 brake cars, and the Pro-Am boys are in the 150 brake cars. Can Potter McPot get the move done down the inside here into the last turn? No, putting some pressure on that left front medium tyre. Now literally pushing Bigsy down the track. So you can see that toe just allowing Potter to keep bumping Bigsy, pushing him down the track, trying to allow them to both extend their gap from the drivers behind. So Ollie O'Neill, Simon O'Neill and Weiss all in the pits this lap, covering each other off. Only 8 minutes into this race, they're already chucking tyres on. They've all come out on softs, so possibly that's why. Potter McPot on the mediums, they're going to run a bit longer. Bigsy also on the mediums as well. Scarwall's is out on the soft, but his tyres are a little bit battered. He's only 2.8 back from Potter McPot though. I just want to stick with this battle as we keep on board with Potter as he looks to make that move past Bigsy. Nice and cleanly passed for Potter then. Bigsy might be able to stay with him and get the move back on the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Let's go on board with Bigsy. See if he can make the lunge into this hairpin. Potter McPot's going defensive. Bigsy's going to try and run around the outside. It can be done. He's decided just to back off and try and get a better run on the exit. It's not worked for him that time. Potter McPot then keeps that P1 position, just under half a second. Just extending a little bit. Oh, it's coming down again now. That slipstream starting to come into effect for Bigsy. So we'll see how long these boys can run with these medium tyres, although they are about out of fuel, so you might see them come in the pits this lap. Yeah, Potter's in then. Bigsy follows him through. Scarwall's in also. Ollie O'Neill then is going to come round. So these boys pit last lap. They're all out on the softs. So around this last turn for all three of them, where does Potter McPot, Bigsy and Scarwalls come out? They're still taking on board fuel and tyres. Potter McPot will be first man out, but it looks like he's lost that position already to these drivers. You can hear them going past now. Potter McPot just been released. Where does he come out? Where's he gone? Oh my god. He comes comes out in 4th position, 5.6 seconds back from, or a little bit further, 6.4 seconds, 6.6 seconds back from Weiss. Bigsy and, well, Bigsy's out, but he's under pressure from Thunderat in the Pro-Ams. Oh. Not for too long though, the extra power will just allow Bigsy to pull away from that pressure behind. So Cutler then looking to close back on the back end of the Pro Boys after his chicane of death incident. Looks like he came in the pits a couple of laps ago as well. Graham Reed's then second in the Pro-Ams. Scarwall's got to get himself past these boys as well. He's already made it past Boonsey and has Melvin. Anthony Hunt then at the back of the pack. He's just been in the pits, fresh tyres, full tank. So Simon O'Neill, Ollie O'Neill, side by side. Could be brothers, they could not be brothers. Who knows? But they're battling out right now. Are we going to see sibling rivalry, or is it just a coincidence? There was a little bit of crashing and a banging. Ollie O'Neill losing out to that one. Weiss sneaking through, taking that second position. He's able to close right up on the back end of Simon O'Neill, heading through the chicane of death. Onboard action. Let's see who makes it through here. Oh, Weiss got it all wrong. He got it all wrong, had to lift. It just chucked him off track, off line. And he ended up clattering Ollie O'Neill in the process. So he's holding a bigger chunk of penalty for that. Let's see if Ollie O'Neill can make that place back down here. Whether Weiss decides to lose that penalty down here. It is one of the fastest sections on the track. Not the place to be doing it. You want to be doing it into the braking zones, really. Lifting and coasting. Potter McPot then up into 4th, so he's closed the gap to 2.9 seconds between 3rd place and himself. So he was about 6.5 back, so that's some really good driving by Potter McPot. 6.3 seconds now off the lead place, Simon O'Neill. Bigsy's now 2.6 seconds back, and Cutler is 3.3 seconds back. Scarwall's another 3.1 back, so the Pro-Am boys have been passed cleanly by the pros. Thunderat just coming out of the pits holding that top spot in the Pro-Ams. Boozy Bob's still in the pits at the minute, just being released now. Hunty's out though, is he going to get past? I think he is. He's going to be coming at full race pace though, is Hunty. He might get this position done. He's going to get that done. So up into 10th for Hunty, 9th for Graham Reeds. Booty Bob we just saw coming out the pits, having to slot in behind Hunty. Has Melvin also back out the pits in 12th position now. He's 2.2 seconds back from Booty. A little bit of work to do to catch up. Simon O'Neill then has managed to sneak out a 1.8 second lead. Weiss in second. He's also managed to gap Ollie O'Neill by 2 seconds after that little bit of a collision just through that chicane of death section. Pot closing in slowly, 2 seconds behind. Managed to make more time up on NGR Bigsy. So out on the mediums again, Potter is having a good run on these mediums. He's putting in some fast lap times, although Ollie O'Neill's actually got fastest lap of the race with 1:55.1. Just sticking in a 1:55.8. Losing a bit of time to Ollie in front. So just starting to stretch out a little bit. Why still holding a bit of that penalty from the collision. All the pro boys there. In 8th place we've got Thunderat. So he's got a nice big gap, 8.9 seconds from 2nd place in the Pro-Ams now. Quite comfortably out in front. Anthony Hunt then up into 10th, 3rd in the Pro-Ams. So not going to be counting points this week for this race. It is a mixed lobby. Pros and Pro-Ams, and there were a lot of drivers missing from the first race tonight, so that wouldn't be fair either. So Boozy Bob then looking to get past as Melvin. He's lost a bit more time, 3.5 seconds. He likes sliding that mini. So Simon O'Neill has had that gap reduced by Weiss down to half a second. Ollie O'Neill 2.8 seconds back. Potter and Pot still unable to close that gap on Ollie. Still just over 2 seconds. Making more gains on Big Z, 5.1 seconds over Big Z. Collar's in another 3.1 seconds. Oh, he's just run himself wide though. He's done well to keep that out of the sand, I'll say that. He just catches the exit, he's chucking himself in the pits anyway. He would have lost that place to Star Wars, I believe. And lack of speed going through that sand there would have just allowed Star Wars to close up. So Simon O'Neill and Weiss then battling it out for that P1 position, coming down into the first hairpin. Weiss now looking to lose that penalty, now is in a fighting position. So Ollie O'Neill still 2.7 seconds back, but had that gap reduced between himself and Potter down to 1.5 seconds. So the tyre wear on Ollie O'Neill's Mini starting to come into play with those racing softs. Quarter of a tank on board, Potter McPot, his racing medium's in a lot better condition. And he's closing the gap on Ollie O'Neill as well. Ollie O'Neill running wide there, that's going to allow Potter a good drive. Has to take that third position then. Ollie O'Neill has to slot back in fourth. Like I say, you look at the tyre wear on Ollie O'Neill's car, that's half the problem, although Potter McPot's just run himself a bit wide through that hairpin. It's a good job Ollie O'Neill wasn't any closer, he would have had that position back no problem. So yeah, the racing soft's starting to take an absolute beating now, and this is just going to allow, you can see Weiss just having to drift it wide into the wall there. The tyre's not giving him what he wants. So Potter and Pot then looking to close the gap on the two drivers in front, third place in the minute, gaining time over Weiss as well, rapidly, 4 seconds now that gap. And as I say, these drivers will have to come in the pits pretty soon for fresh tyres. Weiss isn't doing too bad on fuel, Simon O'Neill's not doing too bad on fuel. Far off the same as Potter, although Ollie O'Neill's decided to come in the pits now, just under quarter of a tank, going for a fresh set though, his tyres were looking pretty worn out. So that allows Big Z through. Big Z up into fourth then. He's in a very similar position to Potter, still got plenty of fuel on board. Those racing mediums not looking that bad at the minute. Star Wars comes through as well. O'Neill still taking on board fuel. Is that going to allow Cutler through? He is just coming down the start-finish straight, so Ollie O'Neill's been released. Cutler will be coming at full race pace. I don't think he's close enough to get that position off Ollie O'Neill though. A little bit too far back as they come down this start-finish straight. Yeah, Ollie O'Neill already at the first chicane. Cutler just making it there now. So 8th place, top of the Pro-Ams, Thunderat extending his gap from Graham Reed, 7.2 seconds. He himself has actually got 6.9 seconds, almost 7 seconds from Anthony Hunt in 10th. There's 1.7 back to Boonsey, he's not managed to get past yet. Melvin's made a little bit more time up, but still struggling to get onto the back of Boonsey and Anthony Hunt in front. 3.4 seconds. Gap just extending a little bit as well. So Simon O'Neill, 1.1 second gap over Weiss in second. Potter McPot, he's already taken a second out of these boys. As I say, the tyre wear on these softs on these minis is absolutely taking a beating. So are we going to see Simon come in? No, but Weiss comes in now then. Simon stays out. So Potter is going to take that second position. He's now got a 3.9 second gap to make up on Simon O'Neill in front, but they will be very similar on fuel, so I would have thought they would have come in at the same point. At the end of this lap, definitely for Potter, I think, looking at that fuel. Bigsy stays out, he's in third. He's got a little bit of a ghost going on, not sure what's happening there. So Weiss back out the pits then fourth, Star Wars in the pits. He's back out, he'll take on board fuel. Will Ollie O'Neill take that position back off him? Ollie O'Neill, so Star Wars just coming out the pits then. Ollie O'Neill coming past at race pace, takes that fifth position back off him. He's got Cutler coming as well at race pace. He's going to close this gap right back up to Star Wars and Ollie O'Neill. So 1.7 second gap between Cutler and Star Wars at the minute. I do just want to keep my eye on this fight. So Simon O'Neill, 3.4 seconds. Let's see. Ultimate Pot closing the gap through there. You can see how much more grip Potter's got, even though he's on the medium tyres that are pretty worn out. They're still holding grip a lot better than these absolutely worn out softs of Simon's. So he's having to take all sorts of precautions through that chicane. Ultimate Pot is pretty much able to keep it almost flat through there. So the gap down to 3.2. He's played his fuel to a blinder, as has Simon. Both these drivers will be in the pits this lap then. 8 minutes left on the clock. So Simon O'Neill in, Potter follows him. 2.8 seconds the gap as they come in the pits. Bigsy just coming around this last turn. Is he going to come in the pits this lap, or will he risk one more? He's going for another. Okay, so Bigsy's going to take P1. Weiss comes through. Whether he keeps that P2, I don't know. Let's see where these boys are. Ultimate Pot being released. Simon O'Neill still taking on more fuel. He's just been released. I think Potter's going to get that position. He's going to come out in front. Potter does, takes that third position. So just taking on a little bit less fuel. Yeah, Simon O'Neill taking on a full tank there. Possibly not the best choice. Would have gone away with about 3/4 of a tank, probably. Cutler back in the pits as well, so he's out after his final stop. He's also taken on 3/4 of a tank. So Bigsy leads currently. He will have to pit 4.9 seconds over Weiss in second. He has been in the pits. He's on the racing mediums and half a tank. Whether that gets him for the rest of the race, we'll see. Ultimate Pot then 6.9 seconds back. See how much he can close the gap on Weiss in front. Bigsy, like I say, I think that position is probably Potter's. When Bigsy comes in the pits, whether Star Wars can get through as well, I don't know. He is on a bit of a penalty though. He's under pressure from Ollie O'Neill and Simon O'Neill behind. Move into the hairpin. No, everyone keeps it respectful through there. So into the chicane of death. Let's go on with Ollie O'Neill as they head down towards this. See if they can all three of them make it through cleanly. Ah, there you go. See Star Wars just clipping the inside again. Just sent him right over the track there. So losing out. He's now down in 6th. A lot to worry about. Cutler's 20 seconds back from him. He's still got a bit of a penalty to lose though. So Bigsy in the pits. Weiss goes through to take the lead. He's on a fresh-ish set of racing mediums, just under half a tank. Ultimate Pot then 5 seconds back. He's got half a tank, fresh set of racing softs. So he should be able to close the gap on Weiss pretty quickly. Still at 5 seconds at the minute. Only 5 minutes remaining. Ollie O'Neill then. Oh, he's run himself wide. He's run himself wide. That's allowed Simon through to take that third position. Ollie maybe just outbraked himself into that first chicane. Lucky, just got it on the sand there. If he managed to keep it on that red sort of tarmac as we saw Cutler do, he might have just kept that position. Just slowed him down a little bit too much, and Simon snuck through. So Ollie O'Neill in 4th, Bigsy 5th. Cutler 6th. Star Wars, he's got a big chunk of penalty. Just losing that. He's down in 7th. If we jump to the Pro-Ams. We've got Graham Reed's currently out front. He's got 14.3 seconds lead over Thunder Rat and Anthony Hunt fighting out for that second position in the Pro-Ams. Hunty's chucking himself in the pits though. Fresh set of races, possibly racing softs for Anthony Hunt. So Graham Reed has played quite a blinder then. He was in second in the Pro-Ams. He's played his strategy right. He's got past Thunder Rat up into first in the Pro-Ams. 8th place on grid, but first in the Pro-Ams. Thunder Rat in second. Closing that gap down though a little bit. Not enough time, I don't think, in 2.5 minutes to take 14 seconds out of Graham Reed's. So Boonsey in 10th, or 3rd Pro-Ams. Melvin in 4th. And Hunty, after his stop, now at the back of the pack in 12th. But fresh set of boots. Let's see what he can do. Whether he can close up on Melvin, I don't know. He's bringing that gap down. He has got 3.5 minutes to play with. Let's see how he gets on. So, why still leading? Potter McPot got the gap down to 2.8 seconds. Coming down as well pretty quickly. Simon O'Neill, 9.2 seconds back. Ollie's another 2.8 back from him. Big gap back to Bigsy, 11 seconds. Cutler's only 1.6 seconds back, so there could be a bit of a punch-up happening here in the last lap or so. Scarwell's then 16 seconds back, so out of the fight then with the pros at the minute. Looks like he's just taken on a fresh set of racing softs. So back up to the fight for P1. Bottom and Pot close the gap, 2.4 seconds. He'll get one more lap in after this one, that'll be it. So it's all or nothing for Potter McPot, gap down to 2.3, extending from 3rd place. All the drivers just eking their gaps out a little bit now. NGR Cutler is closing that gap on Bigsy, 1.2 seconds. So they've got 2 minutes on the clock. Lap times are about 1:55. So it all depends on where these guys are on track. Yeah, so one more lap for everyone by the look of it. Gap down to 1.8 between Potter and Weiss. Potter will just be in slipstream range about now, I think. So he's got it down to 1.7. He's putting all that pressure on Weiss. Can Weiss hold it together for this last lap? It's still 1.7 the gap. Potter bringing it down slowly, 1.6. Gap down to 1.5. Some back markers to get past as well. Gap down to 1.4. Potter McPot piling the pressure on at this final lap. Let's just flick to Weiss's point of view and have a look back at Potter McPot hunting him down. Gap to 1.2, 1.1. Closing in under braking. Gap down to less than a second. A lot of work to do for Potter. He's got the chicane of death and the final hairpin to go. Just extends back over a second. He's come back under. Yo-yoing a little bit. Pressure on Weiss then to keep it together through here. A little lift. Potter's keeping the hammer down through there. Closing in. Look at the speed that Potter carried through. Half a second gap. Closing in down to this final turn. Weiss going defensive. Potter looking to make his way past Anthony Hunt. Will he dove down the inside? He does make a move down the inside. Where's the camera change? Potter McPot makes a lovely move past Weiss on the final corner of the final lap to take the win. It was a great move by Potter McPot. He closed down on Weiss over those last couple of laps to take that win. That was a great bit of racing by Potter McPot. Weiss taking second. Simon O'Neill's going to come home in 3rd position, battling it out with Ollie and Scar Wars for a lot of that one. So Ollie's going to come home in 4th then. Going to get a great big handbrake off him. Yes, that's what we want. The Fab Lab. So he comes home in 4th. Big C's going to bring it home in 5th. Oh, no he's not. Cutler's going to bring it home in 5th. And Big C's going to come home in 6th. Scar Wars going to come home in 7th then. So losing out a little bit at the end of that race. 30 seconds back in the pro race for Scar Wars. He's ghosting out though, so that doesn't allow his car to sort of go full pace when you put it in auto drive. It slows down to like 1st gear in every corner. It's ridiculous. So Scar Wars comes home in 7th then. So that's the pros done. So Graham Reeds 13.3 seconds from Thunder Rat. So Boonsy, Melvin and Anthony Hunt have already crossed the finish line to take 10th, 11th and 12th. Got Graham Reeds just coming around that last turn then. Oh, he's run himself wide. Not wide enough to cause any issues with that 12-second gap. You can see how far that Thunder Rat is. So lucky there, Graham Reeds at the end. A little bit wide in that last turn, but no pressure from behind. So he comes home to take the win for the Pro-Ams. And we just wait for Thunder Rat to cross the line to take P2 for the Pro-Ams. Boozy Bob taking P3 for the Pro-Ams. Like I say, that wasn't how it was supposed to be. It was again supposed to be split between pros and pro-ams, but you've seen the issues I've had to deal with tonight. Yeah, there's still some good racing. Humanoid Jeff, I like your name. Yep, unfortunately, mate, you missed out on the you know, it's all gone wrong. PlayStation lobbies have thrown up or something, or Godzilla's been released. I don't know which. But yeah, race 1, it was ridiculously good. And then we were just about to jump into race 2 and the lobby died. So tried to restart the lobby and yeah, people couldn't get in, people couldn't open the bloody PlayStation up, game wouldn't start, all sorts of stuff. It's just been a nightmare. We managed to get this lobby open. We got as many drivers in as we could from Pro and Pro-Am, and we just put a bit of a race on to keep you lot entertained, really. Like I say, it was supposed to be 2 races, so we're giving you 2 races. It was good, wasn't it, Dukes? It was good. Well done, Potter. Yeah, so he's getting a few shouts. Great commentary, great race. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I assume I will see you on track next week then, Mark, or whatever you put your PSN down as. Can't even find that chat now. Oh, there we go. Boomila 74. That'll be you. So, for me, I'm back tomorrow night. Hopefully we don't get any more issues. Hopefully my PC's working, and then we can get some snazzy intros and outros. You're not going to see all that tonight, all you newbies. There's usually like a snazzy intro video with, like, you know, a bit of action, some minis ripping around, some music blaring. No. PC said no. But yes, I am back tomorrow night, 8:30 for the Mini Challenge UK race. So very similar setup to this, but it is real world drivers from the Mini Challenge UK series. And they battle it out for 2 15-minute races. 15-minute quali, 15-minute race, and then a reverse grid 15-minute race. And then straight after that, some of the boys from this league will be racing against the real world drivers for a 3rd race tomorrow night. So that all starts at 8:30 tomorrow night. Come and check that out. I'm also back Wednesday for the GR3 team versus team event. You may see 1 or 2 drivers from this in that as well. Again, that's 8:30. Racing myself Friday. I don't stream that because I usually crash when I'm trying to talk to you lot, so I don't stream it anymore. Then I'm back Sunday. Hopefully we can get the BMW lobby and the P1 GR3 lobby open as well, because they were 2 more streams I had to cancel yesterday due to these crap lobbies. So yeah, apologies for that, people. So that's what my itinerary looks like for the next couple of days, the following week. As such, we're back next week, same time, same place, for round 2 of this. The Mini Racing CHewitt Coupe, let me get that right. CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. It's a flipping mouthful. Yeah, unfortunately, Pav wasn't able to enter that one. He was looking good. Him and Potter were battling it out in race 1, and he just wasn't able to get back in the room in time. It's a shame. So if you want to get involved with any of this, as you've seen, Mark Wright or Boomila74 has decided to sign up. So he's signed up to Next Gen. He's had a word with Chris Cutler. Chris Cutler's slotted him in a race. So there you go. Simple as that. Not always as simple as that. It all depends on whether there's room in the league, to be honest. But I will put links in description to Next Gen Racing or NGR. I'll put links in description to CHewitt Racing Mini Racing Team. I'll put links in description to both the Hunties channels on Twitch and YouTube. And I'll put my links in for Twitter and Discord as well. Come and hit me up on there. I'm not a massive user of them at the minute, but I suppose the more people twit me and disc me, then the more I'll probably use them. Why saying he got mugged? Yeah, good racing. So yeah, that's my itinerary. Get yourself signed up to some of these leagues. Come and race. They're better than the dailies on PlayStation, which are terrible because you never racing the same people, so nobody gives a damn. Oh yeah, it is Numanoid. Numanoid, not humanoid. Oh well. My eyes have been playing me up. There you go. I'm old. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to end the stream about here. Yeah, you know what's coming up? It's pretty much 8:30 for the rest of the week, apart from Sundays, which will be 7:30 and 9 o'clock. So come and check them out. Other than that, if you're back tomorrow, you're back tomorrow. If you're back next week, you're back next week. All I've got to say, tell your mates, tell your mum, my name's darksmoka. I'm out of here.